Hi guys, so my E39 has just checked into the workshop yesterday. Nothing specifically wrong, alright, but uh, it's time to begin prep work for Evo Enduro. So I've sent this car in a full month and a half ahead, right, to get everything sorted out, to see that there's, to do some preventive maintenance to ensure that this car will be fit for the long distance journey ahead. So just to recap back over the past 3 days, the day before yesterday, I actually sent this car to Top Cushion Subang, got the interior redone. All right, got the interior redone, and let me just show you. Okay, so now I've got the roof all nicely rewrapped, the pillars, all six pillars rewrapped, as well as my rear speaker board. So previously, all the linings, the roof lining lah, the pillar lining lah, even the speaker board lining, all were coming off the seams already. One. So I've got this fixed. Total cost was 800 ringgit all in. So quite happy with the outcome, right? And they were very fast. All right, I sent the car in at 4:30 in the evening. The next day afternoon, car was ready to go. Right. Of course, the material that they used, it's slightly different from what was originally what originally came with the car, but color wise, texture wise, it feels close enough. Just that this one feels there's a bit more woolly texture to it. Okay, so never mind. Next up, then as I was driving the car yesterday, so yesterday I picked up the car from Top Cushion. So yesterday I drove the car to was planning to drove the car to meet Bing for a meeting, but along the way suddenly I heard squealing sounds coming from the wheels. So yeah, that was when. So I suspected that there probably was a pebble that got lodged inside the brake disc, right? So anyways, I was going to bring this car in like 2 weeks from now on, but anyways, never mind, since got that in. So I brought the car in, and it was determined that the brake disc, the brake pads are in need of replacement anyways. So I decided might as well, since the car is already here, just get the enduro service done early. So yeah, so that if let's say if there's anything complicated in there that needs to be addressed, I have got a healthy lead time to sort it out. All right. So since the brake pads are in need of changing anyways, yeah, I've taken the liberty to actually perform a minor upgrade to my brakes. I'm swapping out my front discs from 520i front discs to 530i front discs. So now for the E39, right? All right, 6-cylinder variants of the E39 lah. V8s follow a different convention. The 6-cylinder models, right? There are three possible disc brake combos. So E39 comes standard all-round discs as standard, but my 520i has the lowest setup, so-called, where you have ventilated discs in front, solid discs at the rear. The early batch 523 single one-notch models also had the same setup, ventilated front, solids rear. Then later models, all right, the bigger engine models, the 525s, the 528, and also the 523 double one-notch, they had ventilated front and rear. Then you come to the 530i. 530i gets bigger diameter front discs. Okay, but when you go for bigger diameter front discs, it necessarily requires that you replace the calipers. So I got this caliper and disc set from a friend of mine. All right, so this one is yeah, so I got it for friend price lah. But overall, I hear that in the market to get this barang, it's about, the cost will be about 800 to 1,000 ringgit depending on the condition. So on top of the calipers you buy used, no problem one. Discs, well, my friend, apparently he bought these discs, right, planning to upgrade for his car, but eventually not needing to use them because he eventually did a full 530i conversion from a half car. So end up these parts that he bought initially for his car, which was a 523, did not was left unused. So he pushed them off to me at a friend's price, and yeah, so I'm a happy receiver of this. Yeah, So got calipers, discs. Then for me, on my part, I will just have to pay for Syed's labor. I have to pay for new pads, and as well as probably new brake pad wear sensors. All right. Funny thing enough, right? Despite the pads being worn, the brake pad warning sensor did not trigger. So Syed's theory was that because only one side has fully worn, the other side still has a bit, the brake sensor warning light did not trigger. But that's okay, right? And yeah, so maybe need to get new brake sensors. But of course, because he booked out the caliper and all those, right, that would also in the process require a full change of brake fluids, because as he booked out the caliper, all the fluids will come off, then it requires a brake fluid change. So besides changing the front brakes, right, I've also asked Syed to watch out for a few things. I asked him to check from head to toe all the bushes, all the all the joints, check that everything's in order. Now I've had the front suspension arms fully replaced when I bought the car, so I expect those to be fine. It is the rear that I want him to have a look at, right, all the subframe bushes and all that. And also I also have now in the engine has mostly been done. All right, I've already sorted the diesel valve, I've sorted most of the cooling system, but I have not checked the fan clutch. So the fan clutch is something that is going to need to be looked at, and yeah, so I'm going to have him to check that out. There's also the mass airflow sensor, and what else? I've got a new radiator, I've got a new water pump in there, so coolant has been changed. Yeah, but I need to have the fan clutch checked. Okay guys, just to show you, these are my rear discs. Okay, this is my rear disc, and you can see that there is quite a big gap between the discs and my 17-inch wheels. Then now we move to the front. These are the new 530i discs. You can see that they fill the whole the space inside the wheels much better. I understand that I can still go back to 16-inch wheels if possible, but it's going to be a very, very tight fit if I choose to do so. But yeah, in this 17 inches or so, looks very nicely filled. Okay, cheers. Alright guys, so I've gotten back my E39 from the workshop, I think for about a good few days now. Okay, just to recap again, what have I fixed? First, it all started off with the roof liner, the pillar linings, and the speaker board. So all that re-wrapped, reupholstered for a total cost of 800 ringgit at top cushion. So then after that, when I left the place, immediately after that, my brakes developed squealing noises, and it was found that there was a pebble caught inside the brake pads. And well, depending on how you look at it, it was in a happy coincidence. I found out that with that checking, when I sent it to the workshop, I found that the pads and discs were actually both worn out anyways. So one shot left it there to change the brake pads and the discs, and also asked Syed to give a full rundown of the car, check the car's condition from head to toe, see if there is anything that needs to be changed ahead of Evo Enduro. So at around the same time as as all this transpired, a friend of mine, a fellow E39 owner, offered me a set of upsized brake discs and brake discs together with the calipers, which actually come from the 530i. Okay, now, so for 6-cylinder variants of the E39, right, the 520i has ventilated front discs and solid rear discs, as well as the 523i single one-offs. Then all the mid-range versions, the 523 double one-offs, the 525, the 528, all these had front and rear ventilated discs. The 530i had enlarged front discs, so big. They have the 530i has bigger discs, and it is a very popular upgrade amongst E39 owners. And yeah, so that's why. So my friend offered that his pair to me at an irresistible price. The story of it is that he bought that set to put into his car, but later, before he managed to install that set, he did a full 530i conversion from his half cut. So from a half cut car, and as a result, he didn't need those rotors and discs, and it was a great deal because those discs that he sold to me were practically brand new. Okay, now of course he sold those things to me at friend price lah, but I can tell you, in the going rate, the depending on who you talk to and the condition of the discs as well as the caliper, you are really looking at an expense of about 800 to 1,000 ringgit depending on the condition. Then you also have to look at installing new brake pads as well as probably brake pad wear sensors. So 530i has bigger front discs. The pads are bigger, more expensive. Cost of those pads about 400 bucks. And finally, so that was done, sorted in my car. And of course, do bear in mind one more thing: if you change, right? If you want to do if you want to change the caliper, all right, that inevitably necessitates a change of your brake fluids, because when they remove the caliper, the brake fluids will leak out, and as a result, you will have to change your brake fluids in the process. Okay, because all the brake fluids leak out. Then, yeah, so full brake fluid change, new pads, new discs, second-hand calipers, new brake sensors. Then also at the same time, when he opened the front up, he found that the front wheel bearings were wearing out. So I got them replaced as well. And interestingly enough, the choice was either replacing new OEM parts or used original parts. So naturally, I actually prefer to, with such wear and tear parts, I actually prefer new. But Syed actually advises me that sometimes, many a times, right, it is the original original used parts that actually may last longer than the new OEMs. So that's something that that is probably a matter of concern, you know, further down the road when the market runs out of half cuts and used parts, right, for us to use. But still, that's further into the future, and who knows, maybe the time I'm earning a bit more money, I can afford whatever I need to change in this car, just order brand new original from Germany. Okay, hopefully I reach that stage lah. So then he did a full check of everything lah. Okay, I asked him to check my my cooling system. Actually, I've already changed the radiator, I've changed the water pump, I've changed a few hoses. So what is left really is the fan clutch that has not been changed. He checked the condition of the fan clutch is okay, did not need changing, which is good, right? Then I also asked him to check the mass airflow sensor. There's also another common E39 failure point. Again, nothing wrong with that. The valve has been changed, so nothing to be worried about there. What else do I have? I also have yeah, so basically most of the key maintenance items of this car have already been changed by me from the day that I bought it. So right now this car is at a stage where I feel confident enough to bring it to Evo Enduro. So my game plan always was that I would have sent this car in a month earlier, but that pebble stone thing accelerated the process, made me send it, you know, a couple of weeks earlier. But that was fine, because what I really want is that to send the car in early, all right, get whatever on the surface that needs to be changed, and then I still have a month's time to shake down and really see if there are any further issues to address. Plus also, I was taking the precaution that in case some rare part in there needs to be addressed, I have a 1 month lead time at least to order the whatever, to source for whatever replacement part. But thankfully that doesn't seem to be necessary right now. Still, fingers crossed. Okay, fingers crossed. So yeah, there you go, guys. So with this, I'd like to take the opportunity to remind everybody, okay, those of you who are interested to join Evo Enduro, please go and sign up. Link is in the description section below. Those who have already signed up, I can't stress this point enough. Get your car serviced early and ASAP. Okay, especially those of you who drive German cars like me. Yeah, give yourself at least a month's lead time ahead. So if let's say anything major, you have that lengthy lead time to prep your car. Okay, and also of course, stand by a bottle of engine oil, 1 liter bottle of engine oil, and some coolant in there. You never know when you will need those extra fluids to top up. Okay, so yep, guys, Evo Enduro coming soon. Looking forward to it, and start getting your cars ready. Okay, cheers.